talk to you about how you can leverage your team on LinkedIn. I want to talk to you about how we can really use our employees, or work with our employees is a better term, to help us raise the profile of the company on LinkedIn. Do you have a team? That's the first question I want to know. And if you have got a team, are you inviting them to join you in your LinkedIn marketing activities for your company? First of all, I did an event this week in Dublin, which was brilliant, really lovely turnout and really great crowd in the event. And I was talking to them about basically explaining initially the difference between having your personal profile on LinkedIn and your company page. With your company page, that's how we can really leverage the people in your team to help you get more visibility as an overall company. And it can also actually help showcase your CEO and the key people in your company as well. It doesn't really matter what size your company is. Even if there's 3 or 4 in your team, you can still do this. Your personal profile on LinkedIn is, Louise Brogan. I build my network, I build my connections. And this is actually what's exciting for us as business owners when we have a team as well on LinkedIn, because your LinkedIn company page, you've got personal profile, which is all about you and what you do and how you can help people. Then you have your company page, and that is the name of the company, and the people who work with you or for you show up as employees on your company page. What that looks like if you go to a company page, say you go to Small Business Saturday or Microsoft, and you click on the people tab, it shows you all the people who work in that company and where they are, where they're located, their job titles, etc., etc. Let's say you have a small team of 10 people and you have a company page and you're building the company's presence on LinkedIn. So maybe your company page has 1,000 followers or 500 followers, and you have 10 employees. Those 10 employees have their own personal network on LinkedIn. And while a lot of people I work with who are starting out may only have 150, 120 connections, quite a few people have more than that. So you might have some employees who have 500 people in their personal professional network here on LinkedIn. When you share something on your company page and your team are on board and trained and educated on how LinkedIn works, spoiler, we offer that service, and they share that content out to their network, your company page is no longer presenting to a potential audience of 500 or 1,000. It's potentially presenting to your company page followers and the personal networks of your employees. So it really amplifies your reach. So you can see how engaging your team in your company marketing efforts on LinkedIn can really amplify the message out to a much wider audience. There are statistics, something like 30 or 40% of the engagement on any company page comes from the employees. And you might think, well, that's, what's that all about, Louise? Are you saying that only employees engage on company pages? It's very challenging to get anybody to engage on any of your content on LinkedIn, full stop. People far happier lurking and scrolling, and that's how it is at the minute. It still works that way on LinkedIn, and so we work with what we've got. So if you can actually get your employees to comment or share the content from your company page, that is so good for you and your marketing team and all your marketing efforts. All right, so how do we get our team involved? Number one, you've got to make them feel valued enough that they want to be part of your marketing efforts on LinkedIn. So one of the big issues people have about going on LinkedIn and raising their profile is that they don't really know what to say. So when you, as the company owner, hire somebody like me to run your LinkedIn company page for you, or you get your marketing director to create content for your company page, you're literally giving your employees a gift, because you're saying, okay, Kyla works in packaging. So when Kyla has employees who want to be known within the packaging industry across Europe, but they don't really know what to say, they just go to the company page and see the content that Kyla and her team are creating there, and they can share it across to their network. So you're actually helping your employees by saying, look, here's what our company does, and here's what it stands for. And this is content you can take and you can share to your own network and say why you're sharing it. So it's kind of like you're giving them material that they can then share with their personal networks to raise their own profiles on LinkedIn. I'll give another example. Elizabeth Cook works with BizChicks company, And that's all about supporting women who are business owners. So if there's content being shared on the BizChicks company page, that helps. So being of service is a really key thing in your marketing material on LinkedIn. How can we help you? How can we be of service to you? So Elizabeth can take those posts from the company page, share them to her own network and say what she thinks about this, or starts conversations around those pieces of content. So it's helping Elizabeth, who is then going like, I have a really busy week. I don't want to have to think about what to write on LinkedIn. But Louise says I need to write something on LinkedIn. So, oh, this is a gift for me. I can just take this piece of content and I can say something about it. So you're helping your employees. I am a small business champion for Small Business Britain. That's attached to my LinkedIn profile because I have a role within that organization as a business champion, which means I literally, I amplify their voice. I do webinars now and again. I do, bits and bobs with them. I'm attached to their company page. And if you are an employee, this is how you do it. You go to your experience section, you add the experience, you have the logo of the networking group, and then you have that you're a board member, and then you say in your profile what you do, because your network want to see that. It puts you above other people who are not board members of a women's networking group for a start. But it also, yes, it attaches you then to that company page, which it's kind of like a win-win. Definitely, I do have a video on this on my YouTube channel on how to add one of your roles to your experience section on LinkedIn. Share that with your team, and that will show them how they can add the company to their experience on LinkedIn. And that does a couple of things. It puts your company logo in your employees' profile in two places. It's in their introductory card, which is the bit at the top, which is your cover photograph, your name, back to front, your photograph, your name, your headline, and then your company logo. And it also shows, as you scroll down in the experience section, it attaches them to your company page, but it also shows the company logo in their experience section rather than those little grey building blocks. We don't want those, but if you can't find a company page to attach yourself to, you're kind of stuck, you don't have any choice. There are people who say, oh, do this, do that. These are the shortcuts. These are the little, secret sauce ways of using LinkedIn. Honestly, create content that people are interested in and want to have discussions about, and it will do wonderfully. Honestly, I have shared posts from other people that have inspired me, written the post in a way that starts conversation. It's hit with my network. That's the other thing. When I work with clients, I talk about the 4 pillars of LinkedIn: creating your personal profile, writing it in a way that helps you get found and build your network. Number 2, building a network full of people who are actually interested in what you have to say. You're interested in them, they're interested in you. You literally are having a conversation with people that you like, as well as people who hopefully will eventually buy from you. My other 4 pillars, apologies, are your profile, your network, your content, which is what we're talking about here, creating content that your audience are actually interested in. Remember, your goal is to start a conversation. It is not to sell a product. It is to start a conversation. And then the 4th pillar is all the stuff that happens in the LinkedIn Messenger, which for me has been on fire today. I've had a podcast guest request and I've been invited onto a video show today, but that's the 4th pillar. It's all the business stuff all happens in the Messenger. My team are so reluctant to share content. I have coached them, tried to persuade them, and even written a guide to social media. Do you have tips to get them to take the plunge? You've got to show them how it's valuable to them. How does it raise their profile as opposed to the company's profile? You're saying to your staff, look, here is some information about what it is that we do that you can go and create content around. They have to be on board with it. There's no point in just sending an email around everybody saying, right, we put the CEO's video on LinkedIn today, everyone go and share it. Because they'll be like, well, why would I be sharing that to my network? My network is my network. Create content that and say to them, if you share this and write about something that you find interesting about it, like Kyla and the packaging, if Kyla's team are creating compostable packaging. One of the big issues I have personally is all the supermarkets are still not using compostable packaging. So Kyla could be writing something about that on the company page and then just saying to a few key members of her team who want to be known in that space, so that when they go to an exhibition or something, people say, oh, I saw your post you talked about, compostable packaging. I love what you said about it. And actually, we'd like to talk to you about that for our company. Because it raises your profile. It's really, I was at our event in Dublin, we were chatting about how there's so many people watching you that you have no idea that they are watching you and taking things in. And like 3 months down the line or 6 months down the line, they reach out to you and say, oh, we really loved what you said about XYZ, and we're doing a white paper about it. Would you, could you come in and give us your thought leadership? And suddenly they go, oh, this is paying off. This is working. They might be invited to speak in an event on something and give their opinions on stuff, for an article in the paper or something like that. Another great way, actually, is to use your team to help create the content. So do you ever see posts where it's, hey, it's meet the team, or it's employee of the month? Those are the almost, I would say, I don't want to plant a flag in the sand here, but I would say pretty much the most popular posts on my clients' company pages are the ones when you highlight somebody who works in the company. Because as human beings, we like seeing other humans, and we like good news stories, and we like seeing people do well. Invite some of your team members, and they might go, I'm definitely not doing that, but we can work with that, to say, let's do a 30-second video about your role within the company and what you like about it, and put them on the company page, and then see the impact that that has on their self-esteem, how they feel valued by the company. Now, it's going to be the first person, you might have to do it yourself first to get them to see, actually, that all really worked out. But you might just have to find that one brave person who's willing to do it first, and then everyone else will go, oh, right, they're getting a bit of fuss made about them. I want to do that next. Hi, Louise, how do you invite people to your company page? Do you have to be the administrator? Oh, Connor, I'm so glad you asked this, because actually this is a new feature that's coming. Can team members also increase engagement by doing so? So this is brilliant news. LinkedIn are introducing to company pages. So right now, Connor, you're right. You have to be an administrator of the company page. If people don't know what that means, the company page, so for me, it's Louise Brogan Limited, and I'm an administrator, and so is my husband, just in case something happens and I get blocked off. And nobody else is an administrator of the company page at the minute. So we can both invite people to follow the company page. Interestingly, I currently have 250 credits a month for those invitations. I'm going down a rabbit hole here, so I will strike that and come back. We'll talk about that another day. But LinkedIn are now going to allow employees of a company 30 invitations to follow the company page every month. And those invites refresh on the 1st of every month. So every company page has 100 credits that you can invite your personal network to follow your company page. And if you look at your company page, you're an administrator right now, you'll see it might say you have 23 of your 100 credits left. That will refill completely on the 1st of every month. If you invite people to follow your company page and 20 of those people accept your invitation, you get a refill of the credits in that month. So that's kind of interesting. The only issue here is you only really want to invite people to follow your company page if they are interested in what your company does. In my personal network, I have, I'm not a good example. So with Elizabeth's personal network, Elizabeth has her own business. She's an accountability coach, and she works within the BizChicks community as well. So, but Elizabeth might have people that she went to college with, and she doesn't want to invite those people to follow her employee's company page because that wouldn't make any sense. But also the company that she works for doesn't want those people to follow them either, because when they put out their content, those followers they're just not interested in what the company page does. Also, it is extremely hard to get people to follow your company page when you just invite them to do so. So how do we get people to follow our company pages? It's the invite credits, the employee invites. There is a really simple one, but hard to do for a lot of organizations. Create really good content that people want to share, which puts you in front of other people. Your company page has, that's three things, fourth thing. Your company page has 3 hashtags that you can follow as a company, and anybody who uses those hashtags in their posts, you can go and comment on your company page on those posts. I do not have this yet, but some people are able to go, if they're an admin of a company page, are able to flip out and comment as either themselves or their company page on any post. I do not have that yet. That is quite frustrating because I like to make videos to tell you guys how to do everything. I don't have access to the functionality, therefore I can't make a video to show you. I think as an organization, you have got to say, right, we are going to spend 6 months building up our LinkedIn company page with our activity. We're going to get strategic about it. Wonderful Lauren, who works with me, we do audits and strategies for LinkedIn company pages. That's her jam, as they say, and then implement it. So with the help of somebody like me, or with the help of somebody within your company who is interested in this kind of stuff, and create content that showcases what your company does, something your employees are proud to share about, and gives them material that they can then go and create conversations with their network around. Honestly, start trying to create small, short videos that talk about what you do, what you stand for, what your products and services are, how they benefit the users, as opposed to please buy from us because we're awesome. It's more like, here's our product and why you're going to love it, and here's how you can use it. That kind of content, and then highlighting your team as well. One of the companies that we work with, the CEO, he will create posts on LinkedIn that are designed to send people to go and follow the company page. That's our strategy, working with them. And it's really working. The company page is starting to really grow. LinkedIn company pages are not easy to build and grow. It takes a bit of effort and a bit of strategy. And it's something I personally really love doing it. I love helping my clients to get their companies out there and seen, especially when you get to meet the clients in person and they tell other people how amazing your service is. That's very supportive. The other reason why you really want to share great content on your company page is because trying to recruit people, and that's another reason why you should showcase your employees and how fabulous they are and what do they like about working with you, is that all those people out there, that great quality talent that we're trying to attract, they are looking at our company pages before they submit their applications or before they send in their CVs or resumes. They are checking out, what kind of company are you? What do you stand for? Is there anything on your company page that shows you what it's like to work in the company? It's really not just about, here's our products and services. It's like, here is our organization and what we're all about. An analogy that I am going to dive into a lot deeper, I think probably on a podcast and a blog post as well, is that if you imagine LinkedIn is like your favorite industry conference, and you're going to the conference. So you're Louise Brogan, you're going to Content Marketing World, and you go to the conference, and as the individual, you're walking about and you're connecting with people and you're having conversations. At the same time, the company page is the booth that we are exhibiting at or have set up as sponsors of the event. So I'm walking around the event and my team of 5 people are also at the event. And as individuals, we're all walking around the event, we're meeting people, we're connecting with people, and they're going to say to us, and what do you do? And you say, well, we work with Louise Brogan. What do? They do LinkedIn marketing done for you services. Where can I find out more about them? Oh, over here, we have our booth. So go over there and you can find out more about services, a link to the website, etc., etc. And that's where I see the analogy. Your personal profile is you wandering about LinkedIn, connecting with people, having conversations, and your company page is your booth at that conference / LinkedIn. That is more of your, I want to say traditional marketing, but maybe that's not quite the right phrase, but that's your kind of solid base. Here's who we are, what we do, here's our website, here's who works for us, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to write a proper blog post about that because it deserves it, that analogy. If you like podcasts, check out the LinkedIn with Louise podcast on all your podcast players. And if you want to go and see more about what we do, follow my LinkedIn company page, which I don't have a link to here. All right. See you next time, guys.